Today we're talking about the streamer who got accused of shocking his dog live when his dog dared to move from his spot on the camera. And what followed was one of the largest crowdsourced investigations we've seen on the internet for a while. And this is all while Hasan is in complete denial that he was wrong to begin with. I swear, if Hasan and Pirate Software were locked in a room and the first one who apologized got to leave, they would both spend the rest of their lives in that room. But today we're talking about a single 1-minute clip that turned into several frame-by-frame analyses, accusations, and cover-ups. And enough, I guess, detective work to make Reddit and Twitter look like they're working overtime. So for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, this is Hasan Piker, better known online as Hasan Abi, a Turkish American streamer from California who's built one of the largest political communities on Twitch. I think the only time I've ever mentioned him here on this channel before is by making a live Hasan reaction joke, as he upset a lot of YouTubers in the past by playing their content to essentially babysit his viewers while he wasn't streaming. He was just AFK. His reaction content is one thing, but playing someone's video uninterrupted is scummy to the creator he's freeloading off of. But before streaming full-time, he worked at the Young Turks, which is a news and opinion network founded by his uncle, Cenk Uygur. That's where he got his start doing political commentary aimed at younger people. Later on, he eventually moved to Twitch and built a massive audience by streaming political debates, current events, and just genuinely being opinionated about capitalism and American politics. And the guy is by far one of the largest streamers on the Twitch platform, but this particular situation has nothing to do with political takes, because Hasan has a dog named Kaya, and she's basically become a regular part of his streams, usually sitting behind him on this little platform while he broadcasts for hours. And I guess that setup is what started this whole mess, because this week, a clip from one of Hasan's streams started making the rounds on social media, especially on Twitter and Reddit. In this video, Kaya starts moving like she's about to get up from her spot, and then Hasan reaches for something off the side of the camera, and then right after that, the dog yelps and immediately sits back down.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
The clip blew up instantly with people asking, what just happened? Within hours, viewers started throwing around theories that Hasan had pressed some kind of remote or button connected to a shock collar to keep Kaya in place during the stream. Now, the clip itself doesn't show everything clearly. You can't actually see what Hasan is reaching for, and you can't really get a perfect view of the collar in that moment. But the timing of everything is what made people very suspicious. Because after Kaya yelps, Hasan doesn't jump up to check if she's okay or anything like that. Instead, he just calls her a spoiled baby and tells her to stay where she is. So for a lot of people, that reaction felt weird. Like, if your dog just hurt itself somehow, wouldn't you at least glance over to make sure everything's fine? Like, my dog, I often have Gary behind me in the background, but he just comes and goes as he pleases. But if he suddenly yelps behind me, I jump up to see what's going on, because that's not a normal occurrence. But obviously, once that clip started spreading, a bunch of people started investigating into the situation, including fellow streamers like XUC, because he pulled it up on his own broadcast and went through it frame by frame, and eventually saying that he was like 98% sure that it had to be a shock collar based on how the dog reacted and the timing of the whole clip.
I'm not even gonna be a hater. I'm giving it a fair chance.
Hasan the soy boy.
Hand over. A better press.
Yeah.
Still moving. Now goes forward. I'm assuming probably has a, let's say, a Steam Deck, right? Hand forward. Now that was his arm forward. Now his hand going forward probably. See a little bit more.
Go.
Bang! It would be in the next 3 frames. Chat. The likeliness.
I might have wasted $5.
Chat. The likeliness of this being is like 98%.
And other creators started chiming in with their own takes as well. Some people tried defending it by pointing out that a lot of these collars have vibration or beep mode that doesn't really actually shock the dog. It just gets their attention with a sound or vibration. But I mean, even with that argument, people were asking why the dog would yelp at just a beep or vibration unless she'd been trained to associate that sound with something unpleasant. And then there's the bigger question of why Kaya seems so hesitant to move at all. Because if you go back and watch Hasan's streams, Kaya sits there in that exact spot for literal hours without budging, even when Hasan isn't looking at her. And I mean, I have this little sleepy guy right here, and he has a bunch of beds throughout the house, and he just kind of comes and goes as he pleases and alternates between resting in a bunch of these different beds. Hey, buddy. But people started digging up older clips showing what happened when Kaya tries to leave her platform. Sometimes Hasan glares at her, and sometimes he verbally commands her to go back. And sometimes just a look from Hasan gets the dog to return to the spot.
Let's blast off. Far left himbo backs defund police and base socialist mayor Mamdani for mayor. Comrade Hasan. Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Shh. Hey. Baba kapi kapatır mısın? Hey, Kaya. Place. I don't even know why I try to do this. I don't even know why I try to do the stream. This is crazy.
And a lot of people were pointing out for a dog's breed that's supposed to be pretty active and needs a lot of exercise, the whole pattern just seemed off. The streamer, Tectone, had a viral tweet stating that he'd always wondered how Hasan managed to keep the dog sitting behind him during the entire 8-hour stream, and that a shock collar would definitely explain it. He also called him out for using the dog as a stream prop, like it was messed up, and suggested Kaya wasn't sitting there because she wanted to, but because she was scared not to. Then Tectone brought up this old clip where Hasan talked about his previous dog, Fish, who passed away back in 2020. In that clip, Hasan mentioned that his roommate wanted to go get a shock collar, but Hasan apparently already bought one but claimed he didn't have the heart to use it.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for Fish, and his dog's barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
But apparently it was interesting for some people that Hasan admitted to owning one before, even if his story was that he never used it. But eventually, with everyone talking about this, Hasan decided to address this whole thing on a stream. But not in the stream it happened, in a stream in a separate day. So then he explained that Kaya clipped herself on something, maybe the edge of the platform or something on the ground, and that's why she yelped. He then said he wasn't using any kind of shock device or remote, but the internet still didn't buy it. For starters, viewers who analyzed the clip closely said they couldn't see anything Kaya could have actually clipped herself on. Her platform looked clear, and the way that she moved didn't really look like she caught onto anything. And then again, you have that whole issue of how Hasan reacted or didn't react at all when it happened. And people also noticed something about the timing just seemed pretty off, especially because Hasan had already seen the clip been going viral for about an hour before he brought it up on stream. There's a moment where you can also see him reading the chat, going quiet, seemingly distracted, and then getting up to call Kaya off camera.
At one point in these negotiations, agreement was reached and signed by both sides, granting a $40 million increase in salaries and benefits. This is twice what other government employees can expect.
And when he finally sits back down, Kaya's gone from your usual spot, and it stays like this for the rest of the broadcast. This would have been the perfect opportunity to, bring Kaya over. Be like, hey, look, here's the collar I'm using. It's not a shock collar. All while on the same stream. But it wasn't until the following days that things really started to unravel, because some people on social media became obsessed with figuring out what kind of collar Kaya was actually wearing. And for other content creators, this was basically free content. If you look at the clips from Hasan's stream, you can see that Kaya has a collar on. But what type of collar became a massive debate. Some people thought they could spot contact points on it, which would match up with an e-collar or shock collar design. Others argued it could be a holder for an air tag or a standard vibration one. Hasan eventually said that Kaya wears a vibration collar, which he described as a communication tool to get her attention when she's in another room or outside the house. He made sure to emphasize that vibration collars are different from shock collars and that tons of dog owners use them for training without any problems.
The vibration collar is what they were pointing to. Okay? To be like, oh my God, he has a collar that he's using to abuse her and shocking her. There are a lot of dogs who use this. Okay, there are also a lot of dogs, working dogs, that use a shock collar as well.
It's also interesting how he posted this long clip from the stream on YouTube giving his side of the story, but made sure to cut out this part from his YouTube video where he mentioned what we just heard.
I have multiple collars for Kaya, and I put an air tag on them. I put an air tag on all of her collars to make sure that, I know where she's at. And one of the collars that people are pointing to from previous days or from like months ago is the collar that is a vibration collar, a collar that I use specifically to communicate with Kaya when she's free roaming at the park or when she is, off leash running around.
But here's the thing, because on the stream, he also starts defending shock collars. And to a lot of people, it sounded like he was kind of hedging his bets, like covering all possible angles just in case someone eventually proved that he was actually using a shock collar after all.
Like they don't realize that even the e-collars that do shock are unironically used to train like service dogs and shit. They think it's like dog abuse in general. That's part of the reason why so many trainers have come out and been like, you guys are wrong. Like shock collars are not like tasing the dog. It's like a TENS machine. I have literally shocked myself in the past. Like, so people are just like oblivious to that in general. People don't understand because like a lot of people think that it's just, you're not supposed to train your dogs at all. You're just supposed to let them roam, not realizing that like dogs need structure. They need to work. They need to be like very active. They need to get that out of their system. And not only that, but also in an effort to train them, a lot of the literally the disability dogs, the service dogs, get an e-collar trained with like a what you would call a shock collar.
But I guess at some point, Hasan decided to show the collar on stream to prove everyone wrong, except the way he did it only made everything worse for himself. Because he held it up for like 2 seconds with his hand covering most of it, making it basically impossible to get a clear look at the whole thing.
This is the one that people are talking about. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? There's the air tag. There's the vibrator. There are days where Kaya doesn't wear a collar. There are days where she wears a different collar. This, in and of itself, doesn't actually work in the way that you think it does. Okay? Here. This is the flashlight. Okay? And this is when it vibrates.
He never said what brand it was. He never showed any kind of receipt of the box, and definitely didn't give people enough time to actually see what he was holding.
Here. This is the flashlight.
Bro, stop putting your fingers on it, man. Christ.
Okay? And this is when it vibrates.
What? Guys, let me show you the you guys just got a new controller, guys. Let me show you to guys. I'm gonna show it. Ready? See? I just bought it. It's brand new. Do you guys see it? It's right here. Like, come on, bro. What, like, bro? It's not hard. It's like it's self-debunk for like 2 minutes, man. Like, it's not hard, man. Why does he keep putting his fingers
It has the
on?
capacity to vibrate.
Can we see the underside of it?
And that's it.
So obviously, because of that, that just seemed even more off. So people were confused why he wouldn't just hold it up by the strap, let it dangle in clear view, maybe say what brand name it was. Like, there's so many things you could have added to this to just, you know, completely shut down all the criticism if it wasn't a actual shock collar. Because all he did was make things very awkward and make the few people who actually believed him start to doubt him even more. And then on top of that, what made this even worse is this was a full day after the controversy started, which also felt very suspicious. Like, why wait that long if you have nothing to hide? At this point, the internet basically turned into a crime investigation unit. People started comparing Kaya's collar to different products that you could buy online, trying to match to a specific model. But apparently the streamer Lonerbox was the first guy to crack the case. He posted this comparison showing what Hasan revealed to look like a specific e-collar model that definitely has shock capabilities, not just vibration. His analysis showed that the vibration-only version from the same brand looks very different from what Hasan showed on his stream.
Closely match the ET300 Mini Educator half-mile remote e-collar, which does have shock prongs. It seems to match in shape, in the positioning of the charging port, in the texture of the plastic, unlike this one with the much more curvy light than the one Hasan has. This one, which is vibrate only, also has its charging point on the side. The one Hasan has the charging point in the middle, much like the shocking version, where the prongs that could deliver the shock are simply removable. You can just remove them. Or apparently, maybe, plausibly, ostensibly, cover them with black tape.
Then people spotted something else. There seemed to be electrical tape wrapped around parts of Kaya's collar.
Are you happy?
And then the new working theory became that Hasan might have covered up the metal prongs with tape to either hide them or make a shock collar look more like a vibration collar. Some viewers then pointed out the tape looked brand new, no scratches, no wear, no dog hair on it, so it didn't even look like it was used. And then one user on Twitter called LucyFan literally bought the collar himself and recreated how Hasan held it, covering the same spots with his hands. He also removed the prongs, put electrical tape where the prongs go, and it pretty much looked identical.
Hey everyone, so I bought off Amazon today the exact same shock collar everyone says that Hasan shocked his dog with. Let's see, I cut off the prongs that came with it with my Dremel, put electrical tape over it because it looks like he did electrical tape over it, I don't know. It's pretty sus, man. Hold it up. Trying to hold it exactly how he did. All right, you might have to mirror it because I think it is mirrored or some shit. I got a little baby hand, so if my hand doesn't exactly fit his profile, you'll have to ignore it. It looks exactly the same, bro. And then from like the right angle, like in the shadow, no reflection, you could totally say it's all one piece and there's no electrical tape. And you take off the tape, matches up. Exact same. Like there's the prong, there's the other prong, there's the charger port. I think on the older one, which is the one he has, or maybe it's just because it's worn, this screw right here, either the paint wore off so it became silver, or it was just unpainted in the other one. But exact same thing.
And then here you have the side-by-side images of shock collars versus vibration collars from the same company, showing that Hasan's collar matched the shock version. And if that wasn't already a lot, someone put together a video showing exactly how long Kaya sat at that spot during the stream in question, and it turned out to be about 4 hours. So once the controversy hit full speed, people started pulling up old clips related to Hasan and how he treats his pets. Someone found footage from years ago of his old dog Fish, where Hasan essentially grabbed Fish by the tail and said something like, "If you run right now, I will end you," because I guess he was trying to get a photo of Fish and Fish wouldn't stay still.
Come here. Hey. Mother. Come here. Stay. No, come here. Stay. If you run right now, I'll kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone.
I just censor those because I just don't want that to be shown here, but you can tell by the color of his socks and shorts that those two clips are not the same day. Another old clip showed also Hasan's friend Austin taking Fish for a walk, and while using what seems to be a prong collar, which is a controversial training tool that a lot of people consider harsh.
Wanna go for a walk? Go for a walk. Oh.
And this was apparently something that Hasan kept under the wraps from his audience, but Austin accidentally showed it on camera while the stream was running, and you can see from his reaction how embarrassed he seemed. There was also this bizarre clip where Hasan compared owning pets to having slaves, saying something along the lines of like, hey, when you have an animal, you literally have a slave that you shackle every day and drag around by the neck.
You have an animal that you are taking care of. You have a literal slave, and not just like a slave, but you have a literal slave that you shackle, okay, every day, pull from their neck and take them wherever the you want to take them to. And on top of that, you neuter your slave, so your slave can't have more slaves, and you have the slave for just personal consumption, so like making yourself feel better.
To be fair, the person who posted that clip suggested Hasan might have just been making some philosophical point about the ethics of pet ownership overall, but I mean still, if he's the one blasting his dog with electrical currents, maybe he's not the most ethical dog owner to begin with. So hey, I don't know. But people also brought back up his response when Alinity got in trouble for yeeting her cat across the room, because Hasan, he essentially was like, excuse me for not caring about a Twitch streamer throwing her cat. Where's the concern for actual human beings?
50,000 people are locked behind bars for being born in a different country. So excuse me for not giving a about some Twitch streamer like yeeting her cat. Like, Ricky Gervais is tweeting about this shit. Are you joking? Like, where is the priority for human beings?
I don't like arguments like that. Like, does that mean that we should only care about animals after all the problems for humans around the world are perfectly solved? Like, hello? It just doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, she yeeted her cat? Well, should we not be addressing all of the societal problems with human beings around the world? Sure, we can do that, but it still doesn't justify her yeeting her cat across the room. And then eventually the situation got even bigger because Critical made a video breaking down the whole situation, and his take, like everyone else's, isn't exactly sympathetic towards Hasan.
I saw he mentioned place training. Place is an actual dog training thing, and the whole idea behind it is designating a spot in a comfortable location for your pet. For a lot of people, I know it's like their office if they work from home. And Hasan was talking about how that area is her place. And for dog training, place is supposed to be like their happy spot where they are super safe and they feel super secure. You do not want to like make it something stressful for the animal, at least in our teachings. It's supposed to be a comforting spot for them, not like a stressful thing where they just go there and like, blue screen in the brain and just sit there idly comatose. And if they don't, they get punished. So he's calling this her place. But when she's moving from the place, he's scolding her. That's not what we were taught you're supposed to do when it comes to place training. That kind of defeats the purpose of it.
And Hasan responded to Critical's video saying that he should have just reached out directly to get a full story before making content about it. But that response kind of dodged all the actual points Charlie raised.
Charlie's been on a good streak lately. He genuinely cares about dogs. He talks about how much he cares about dogs and pets all the time. So do I, dumb f***. That's the reason why I'm pissed off. That's the reason why I'm fucking annoyed. He could just like unironically reach out and be like, hey, what's going on here?
Like, what do you mean? If you're being accused of something that's extremely provable on the spot, why would you not just prove your innocence immediately? Like, people started calling him out for what he did minutes after it happened. All he had to do was just pick up his dog or bring his dog over and be like, hey, look, it's not a shock collar, and just show it clearly. Instead, he waited over a day later and then he showed the collar like, look, it's not a shock collar, guys. See? Proved it. Innocent. Like, come on, everything about his response feels wrong. And I guess he's just mad the commentary channels aren't like running to defend him when clearly his response doesn't add up.
Like, what was this about? This clip looks bad. You know what I mean? Hey, Hasan, I know we've been around one another before. We've actually been around one another, and a lot of the people that I know that I'm around all the time and do content with have not only been around you, but also been around Kaya. He could have just hit up, not me, but any number of different people to be like, hey, do you think there's any veracity? Do you think there's any veracity to these claims? Not just like, don't ask me directly. Do your due diligence. Why the f*** do you go to Reddit for talking points, dumbass? What kind of moron are you?
The dude is clearly in denial. Like, if you live stream yourself shocking your dog and you spend a whole bunch of time trying to cover it up and deflect, we don't need to go ask you or Pokimane for her opinion if you shocked your dog or not. Like, it's pretty obvious that you shocked your dog. Because again, it would be such an easy thing to disprove if you didn't do it. Well, the streamer Lacey also added an interesting detail when he mentioned that he and Hasan apparently had the same dog trainer. And according to Lacey, the trainer asked him if he wanted to use an e-collar for training. Lacey said no, but the point was this trainer clearly recommends shock collars to his clients. So if Hasan had been working with that same trainer, that's a clear possibility then. And then, considering Hasan has already admitted to owning a shock collar in the past, that just adds another piece to the puzzle. And as everything blew up, people started noticing that a lot of the main posts on the situation on livestream fail on Reddit were getting deleted. So multiple threads about Hasan and collar allegations were being removed, which made people think the mods were actually protecting him or trying to end the story. Of course, trying to suppress something on the internet usually backfires. So those clips moved from Reddit to Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and pretty much everywhere else. So as of right now, Hasan maintains that he's been using a vibration collar and not a shock collar, and that Kaya yelped because she hurt herself on something, not because of anything he did. Obviously, a large portion of the internet does not believe this explanation based on frame-by-frame analysis, the collar comparisons, and the pattern of Kaya's behavior, and by the way that Hasan showed everything about the situation. And obviously, people compiled enough evidence to make it pretty convincing that things do not add up, but there's no definitive smoking gun that proves beyond without all doubt what exactly happened. Although there's no 100% way to really know exactly what happened, but now Hasan is blaming the internet for holding him accountable for making his dog's life worse.
Your haters want you to be reactive to the dog, which is the number one thing you don't do. Caesar Milano South Park literally had an episode about this. I know. My haters are causing me to be more reactive to my dog when she's being spoiled, and then train her in the opposite direction, train her into thinking that she can just like get my attention by crying in the background, okay? Which is bad. But what are you gonna do? F it. I'll just destroy all of the training that I've worked very, very hard on to reinforce now that the entire internet thinks I'm abusive unless I let my dog do whatever she wants and then run the show like this.
Dude, you can do spot training without a shock collar or a vibration collar. And now the creator of Oculus, Palmer Luckey, announced that he would give $100,000 to Hasan's charity if he gave Kaya's collar to the iFixit team for them to verify what kind of collar it actually is. And that is the biggest no-brainer ever unless he's lying, because $100,000 would really help his charity. And I mean, come on, the dude morally grandstands on think about the people. Why do we care about a woman yeeting her cat across the room when we have people to worry about? Okay, think about the people and go help them out. Get those free $100,000 to help a bunch of people. This is the easiest charity money ever, if he's being honest. But now we do have 7 videos that look like Hasan is hitting the shock button like it's the buzzer from The Voice. So it seems like one thing is for sure. If Kaya steps off the bed, Hasan is calling in that tactical nuke. I think just overall, just gathering my thoughts on the situation is, it's just very obvious that he uses this dog as a prop. It's like he went out there, he got himself a dog without understanding the fact that, you know, you're supposed to love and take care of your dog. You're not supposed to use it as a prop for your stream content and sit and repeatedly shock it over and over again every time it moves off of its raised bed. Because after all of this, I feel like he has to ask himself the question, does he have the dog because he loves the dog? Or does he have the dog because he likes having a cute dog sitting behind him in the stream for people to comment about on his live stream? Because after these last few days, it looks like the latter is the reality. But other than that, subscribe if you're new, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.